Hey guys, everybody, good morning. Mestre Sucuri with another video coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that probably will get me some dislikes, some likes, and some people will agree and some people won't, but I think it's something that we need to talk about. Recently, I'm doing a lot of videos, and a lot of these videos contain a lot of topics, especially one topic that I'm really interested in doing, and something that I'm really focused on in doing right now. And that topic is, where do we go from here? Where is Capoeira going to be in the post-pandemic era? So, one thing I've been thinking about a lot, and one thing I truly believe is that Capoeira will come out of the pandemic even better than before. During the pandemic, a lot of things were discontinued. For example, people couldn't go to gyms, people couldn't do a lot of different things. So it reinforced the power and attractiveness of Capoeira because a lot of us could teach online and a lot of students could train in their houses. So a lot of people have been reaffirmed, reinvigorated, and I think we have a chance to grow Capoeira from this point on. Now, the question comes, what and how are we going to grow Capoeira into being? Now, one thing that's always been a big controversial topic that I want to talk about today is giving cordon. And I think this is going to be something that's going to be very big after the pandemic comes to an end or people are able to travel again. So, first, I want to say this is my opinion. This is how I do things. If you do things different, time will tell. Like I always say, Capoeira washes everything. You can't hide anything inside of Capoeira. First, I want to talk about, I think the biggest thing we need to be careful about once we go back to regular, like traveling and people are able to come out of Brazil, people are able to travel between Europe and the United States, come here to Asia, is we need to be very careful about something that I've seen here in Japan and Asia a lot, is people come who are part of groups and without any understanding of anything, just come, get paid, give the cordons, and leave. If that's the situation you want, then the cordon doesn't become something of value for the capoeirista. It becomes something that you're selling. When a group here, like say a master or a master, I'm going to say because it's at the top, it's easier to understand, and someone teaching under that group here, when the person comes just to apoyar or to support the teacher teaching Capoeira and gives a cordon without in-depth understanding of how the group and the students have evolved, then they are just selling the cordon. They are using the cordon not as something to validate the hard dedication, the deep dedication the person has done here, but the cordon becomes a chain to chain them to the group, to give them power, to control the group, so that they don't leave, so you can't go away. And what do I mean by this? I want to reflect on my experience in Capoeira over the last, 20 years of teaching. And I'm going to say as teaching, because that's when I've been involved in Capoeira as a professional, because that's what I lived from. 20 to 30 years ago, the biggest complaint was outside of Brazil that I saw was Brazilians get cordons faster than non-Brazilians. And a lot of times in Portuguese, people would say things like, oh, but Brazilians have an easier way to understand the music, to understand the culture. They already have the ginga in their body. And just basic things that actually make no sense when you're in something that both people have to learn and grow. So if you're a non-Brazilian, a lot of times people say, well, this Brazilian just joined and they're already here in Cordon. And then I'm here and I've been there for 5 years. Now, the biggest thing I'm hearing is a reversal, kind of a backlash to that, which is people who are non-Brazilian are starting to get cordons a lot faster than people who are Brazilian. The biggest motivator being the non-Brazilians are making capoeira groups and paying monthly fees, monthly franchise fees back to their main groups, or they're paying franchise fees on a monthly thing. So people tend to just give the cordon and entrust that the teacher knows what they're doing. If your group does that, fine. In my experience, that backfires, and people want to leave when they've been given a cordon too soon rather than waiting to the right time. When is it the right time? When it's the wrong time? I don't know. What I will tell you is my opinion and my experience, so that hopefully you can reflect and understand how to take that forward. For example, if I go to an event and someone is about to get a professor cordon and they don't know how to play berimbau, I step back and I say, thank you very much. And I've done this. People here know me. I go, look, I don't feel comfortable being part of this situation. Why? Because as you go higher in capoeira, you realize that even if you didn't have anything to do with it, being there, supporting there, and not saying anything is the same as empowering that cordon to the person who's not qualified. Yes, it takes a lot of confidence and a lot of integrity to say, I don't agree. Because everybody wants to be liked. Everybody wants to be called for events. Everybody wants to be the master who gets called and gets paid to be able to do workshops, to be involved. Yeah, personally, I'd rather be the other guy. I'd rather be the master with integrity and say, look, guys, I'm sorry. That person, in my opinion, I don't agree with it. You give the cordon, I'm happy to be here, but I don't agree. We, as leaders, need to be able to say with integrity, we don't agree. I'm not saying that everyone has to be like super good at everything, but guys, just simple things. If the person is doing a robotic ginga and they're gonna get their 8-year cordon, and they can't even do a meia lua de frente, they can't play pandero, they can't sing one song by themselves, but you're gonna give them the 8th cordon, I think we really need to be careful as we move into the future of capoeira and continue this one bad or one flaw that we can really use to improve. I always get friends who have done, not always, but I have a couple friends who used to do capoeira, now do jiu-jitsu. And they're like, look, for 2 years, no one's gonna move on belts because people haven't been able to go to the gym and train. For 2 years, we haven't been able to have rodas almost. We haven't been able to do anything. Matias, 1 year and a half. And mark my words. The second people can travel again, you're gonna see a flood of catch-up cordons. A flood of catch-up cordons. I saw a lot of virtual batizados. I'm not disagreeing with them. If I were to have done that, I would probably not have given a cordon. I would have given a certificate of dedication to capoeira. I participated in one, and I'm on reflection. I should have said, guys, maybe we shouldn't give cordon. We should give a certificate. But people need to run a business. People need to make money. I understand. But now that I've had some time to reflect, I'm thinking now, maybe the online batizados were maybe something that's a little bit too much. Why? Because part of regular changing of your cordon is based on also playing capoeira roda with others. So if you're training capoeira for 1 year by yourself, that's fine. But if you're not able to play capoeira roda, there's the whole other half of the growth that you're missing, right? I think if you weren't able to play roda, even with 1 or 2 or 3 people on a regular basis, at least once a week, I would find it very difficult to give a cordon. A point to understand is, for example, how many times have teachers said, you didn't go to enough roda to get to your next cordon? But now they're going to give cordons virtually. I'm not saying it's wrong, but not maybe a cordon. Maybe it should have been a certificate of participation. A cordon, for me, embodies every single capoeirista that has ever trained, is training, or will train in the future. It's the blood, sweat, and tears of 30 years of my hard work in capoeira, my aspirations, my lack of stopping. A cordon embodies the whole Afro-Brazilian slave experience. It embodies so much. It embodies every mestre and mestra's, time they picked up a beating bow. That's why for me the cordon is such an important thing. It is not just a marker of time. When we teach kids and we have a business to run, it's always like a difficult balance. But I think what's important to maintain integrity, we have to be very careful to give cordons, especially to adults who we can communicate, or adults that we should be able to communicate with and explain the situation. If a person can't understand that, then give them a certificate. Don't give of participation, a certificate of appreciation. Be careful giving a cordon. I've been to events where they want to give cordons, and I told you the professor can't even sing one song. I've been teaching capoeira here in Asia for 21 years, and every day I love it more. I'm not saying people are bad because of this. What I'm saying is right now is a good chance to reflect on what we want to take forward as capoeiristas. For example, having that value in the cordon is one of the biggest ones. But like I said, watch. The second the whole the COVID pandemic's over, people start traveling. Mark my words, I put money on it. People are going to start to get a flood of cordons. Everyone's going to change. But where's the capoeira roda? If capoeira's roda, then where's the time in the roda? So as students of capoeira also, I think we should also be able to say, master, professor, professora, whatever, and say, look, I haven't done roda in a year and a half. I don't feel I should get it right away. How about we have a batizado of appreciation for capoeira? I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Messi, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. I'm going to do it this way. This year, I've been very blessed that the kids have been able to train, and the adults, we've had some regular classes, but a lot of adults haven't been able to come. Watch my video on August 22nd for Batizado. See how many people get a cordon. And these are people I consider almost like family. But we had a hard time with Corona. My point being that here in the future, let's be very careful to just give cordons because time has passed. Mestres, maestras, teachers, don't think cordon is a time marker. It is a quality marker embedded with everything we are as capoeiristas, not just in your own group, but every single capoeirista, past, present, and future. In the future, I don't want to, I've seen here, I just made a video in Portuguese, and I said, I've seen here where people get cordons 7 years and they're contra mestres with no ability of capoeira for that. No, not. And then people are like, well, he's a nice guy. What does a nice guy have to do with being a contramestre of capoeira? There's a lot of jerks out there that are contramestres and contramestras, but their level is there. It is a marker of quality. Theoretically, it should be a marker of social responsibility, but giving a cordon to someone who can't even do an AU well, and you're going to give them a third, fourth cordon, they can't sing, they can't do a lot of things. We need to be very careful of how we're going to take capoeira forward from here. Just a couple of thoughts for you guys today. It's my opinion. Guys, a big thing I'm doing is doing a lot of videos more and more. I'm very blessed to be doing this. I'm running a Patreon challenge this week. Yesterday, I had 2 new people, so I did 50 AUs for each person. If you guys could, everything I do here is capoeira, the restaurant and everything, but everything I do here, like Instagram, Mestre Vibes YouTube, a lot of stuff, a giant database I'm putting together for capoeira stuff. And Capoeira University starts this Saturday. The first 3 classes are already up. The first 2 classes are about the Brazilian development of Brazilian slave trade. The third class is in comparing with the Cuban slave trade. And finally, comparing with the American slave trade. Guys, the reason is I want to be able to give you guys as much information about history, philosophy, and culture of capoeira that up until now, I haven't felt has been accessible. If you want to support those projects, because those projects all take money, support with the cost of a cup of coffee every month, $5 a month on Patreon. There's a lot of stuff in there. I guarantee you're going to love it. Guys, have a beautiful day, and let's take capoeira forward in a positive and an amazing new way in the next year.